Hello friends, I'm going to tell you about NETSTAT commands. NETSTAT is a command line tool used to display network connections for TCP protocol. It also displays routing tables and other network interface and protocol statistics. So coming to NETSTAT commands, I'm going to show you a few basic NETSTAT commands here. For example, NETSTAT-A. This command shows all the active connections right now and all the listening ports. Here proto means the protocol, which is TCP protocol. Foreign address is where we have been connected. Another command, netstat -f, which shows us all the fully qualified domain names for foreign addresses. Fully qualified domain names means which websites have been given a registered domain. Another one is netstat-n. This command displays the routing table in numerical form, addresses and port numbers also. Netstat-o displays the process IDs of each connections. So here I have been there's this connection of 52.230.217.https. This connection process ID is 3652. Process ID means our request to access that particular web page is being a certain process number, like in operating system. And netstat-p TCP. Netstat-p command can only be used for TCP and UDP connection. No other protocols will be given access. No other commands are going to be displayed. So here you will only see TCP protocol connections. Same goes for UDP. So no UDP connections are here, so we are getting a blank. There are other combinations for netstat commands. Netstat-an provides a list of all the connections and ports in a numerical form. So here you can see all the connections, but they are going to be in numerical form. Also netstat-e -p TCP-f. This command displays the Ethernet statistics with TCP protocol along with fully qualified domain names. So these are the number of packets sent and received. These are unicast packets, as in one system to another system. Non-unicast packets means broadcasted packets. And these are the connection details. netstat hyphen an hyphen p TCP. It displays the active connections in numerical order of TCP protocol. Netstat hyphen e hyphen t. This command is going to display the network interface statistics and will be updated for every 3 seconds. The number over here can be any number. It can be 5 seconds, it can be 3 seconds, any number that you want. So here are the statistics which are being updated for every 5 seconds that we are sending. And netstat hyphen s hyphen p hyphen f. This command is going to display only active connections of fully qualified domains. So these are TCP statistics for IPv4, and these are the active connections of fully qualified domains. You can see that here only TCP connections are being displayed. And coming to my presentation, I'm going to tell you about DNS architecture. DNS architecture is nothing but domain name system. It helps us in connecting with a host by mapping an address that is transferred from one client to another client. Mapping an address means using ARP database, that is Address Resolution Protocol. The data is transferred from one router to another router. What is a domain name? It is the way we actually provide a website name to a system. So here we can see 4 levels of domain names: root domain name, top level, second level, and subdomain, or this is also called as host. Root level domain name consists of the dot in a URL like .edu, .net, .org, and .gov are some of the examples. Top level domain consists of the extensions after the dot like .net, .edu, .com, and so on and so forth. In second level domain, we are giving the system a name that will be given to the system. So here is an example: ntchosting.com is one of the second level domain. Subdomain of the domain names consists of details, whether it is a blog or a forum or a worldwide website. Also here you can provide a system where files are being shared through the website. Domain name hierarchy. This is where we get our server registered through domain name DNS server. The registration authority is given to IANA, and the server is managed by Microsoft. So here Microsoft website is microsoft.com. So here the registration authorities are going to provide a .com extension to the Microsoft website. Other DNS names are .de for Germany, .in for India, AU for European Unions, such as European Union comes as France, Italy, Spain, and so on. .us comes for United States, .ca is for Canada, .cn is for China, and .ru is for Russia, and so on and so forth for different countries. Resource records. What is a resource record? Resource record is all the details that are stored in the DNS server while data is being transferred from one system to another system. So resource records in a database is about which host has been authorized which authority. Here we can see five authorities. First one is state of authority. State of authority is about who has how much authority of transferring data. Host means the system that has been given access in a network. The name server is the name of the server which we are going to give. Mail exchanger, which system has access to exchange mails. CNAME is the canonical name for the system, or sometimes also the server. A server also needs a name, otherwise it's going to be a little bit of problem to actually trace it, connect it to the system for client. Zoning and delegation. One single domain name DNS server cannot handle lots of clients. So what we are going to do here is we are going to divide a DNS server into different zones. It can be divided by number of zones based on the namespace. So when delegating, the authority of the DNS subserver is going to change. While delegating, those subservers are going to be given the same authority as the main DNS server. There are three reasons to delegate. One is to handle the database. There is going to be a very big problem if one DNS server is going to handle all the users' database in the memory. Second reason is to provide that particular DNS to other organizations. One DNS has to be given access to other organization. By doing that, that particular system has access and it will be given popularity also. Other one is allowing other hosts in the domain. So if I am not allowing other people to get into my domain, then I won't be able to expand my business. So that is one of the reasons why DNS is being delegated. Querying the database. When we enter the URL, if for example, if I am visiting a particular website for the first time, my domain servers are going to my domain servers will not know, and so they will be sent a query. So first of all, my URL, which is www.whitehouse.gov, is the client is the address that the client is asking for. If the root server has it, then fine. A part of the URL, yes, dot is there in that particular URL. Now next part is name server. So .gov. Is .gov there? Yes, there is. So third part comes to the whitehouse.gov. Does the name server have whitehouse.gov? Yes, it does. So then my name server is going to send a recursive query. There are two types of queries: recursive query and iterative query. What is a recursive query? A recursive query is where the DNS is going to give a response to my query whether or not if it even knows or not. How will it know? By searching the database. If that particular query that I have sent is not in the database, then it is going to send that particular query to the other DNS subservers and then come back and provide me with that particular data, and I will respond with the query. What is an iterative query? The local ISP server is going to provide that query's response. The local DNS server is going to provide me with the local information. That is iterative query. DNS architecture. DNS architecture has been divided into two parts: client architecture and server architecture. In client architecture, it is where the user is entering the URL, and that particular home page of the website is going to be provided to the user from server. Now, how does DNS work from client side? First, we are going to enter an email address in Outlook mail exchanger, or we are going to enter a URL in the browser. Then the IP address is going to be located with a name. Here we are going to provide the systems or our laptops details for security reasons. After that, there is going to be a connection initialization done, which is going to be sent to the DNS server. If in case your device is wireless, then you are going to be accepted as a DHCP client, where your details will be updated. If not, then your query is going to be forwarded, and a socket connection is going to be initiated to the DNS server, where your query response is going to be provided. Here, if you are running on network service, as in if you are using your mobile data, then a remote procedure call is going to be run, or RPC interface is going to be used in order to provide you with the website page. That is how the client architecture works. DNS client. In DNS client, we have seen certain files with .dll connections. This is ws_32.dll. This provides with the details of the host that is trying to send a request to a particular website. mswsock.dll. This particular file helps in using to verify the security measures for a system. DNS API. This particular part, which acts as the ISP's DNS server, helps in connecting to the client at the API level, that is the application programming interface level. winsock.dll, which is this part, helps in opening a socket connection to the DNS server. Server architecture. How does the server architecture work? Here, DNS client or the client side architecture sends the queries to the DNS server. Port 53 is the port number for DNS server. Port 53 is the port number provided to DNS. Here, when your query gets updated, the database will be is going to be searched regarding your request. If it is if it exists in the database, then your file or the home page which you are requesting for is going to be sent back to you. If you are connecting to this particular DNS server for the first time, then you will be updated in the database first, and then you will be provided access to the website. Here you can see that this is the sources read by the server in order to start up. This is an active directory. What is an active directory? Active directory is the directory that stores data and automates the network data in a domain name server. The domain services of Active Directory is called a domain controller. This authenticates and authorizes all users and systems at a network by assigning and providing security policies. This directory uses LDAP protocol in order to provide directory services. Thank you for listening to my video. This is Pravallika. Welcome. Any queries?